Yeah.
See, I've been trying to fall in love way deeper than West is. I'm trying to get my pockets way deeper.
All right.
than
Well,
West
thank you.
is. One thing in
We're with
common, never
Casey
carry the
90.7
West
FM.
in. I walk my
Just
state
to get the formalities out of the way at the beginning. Out from Pullman. Do a little introduction.
I'm Oblé Reed. I'm a 22-year-old mixed race, conscious pop rap artist. I make alternative hip hop, based out of Seattle, Washington, real Seattle, for anybody who's concerned. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So I know we were talking earlier. You just got to Treefort today, this morning.
Yeah.
What's your Treefort looking like for you this year?
So I played 2 sets. I played tonight at Space Bar at 11, and then I play the Reef on Saturday at 10:20. And I'm just honestly trying to experience it all.
Yeah.
Doing things like this is dope, and sharing my story and connecting with amazing people is the whole reason that we're here is to celebrate the arts. So that whole energy is just supportive, and I'm just excited to try to soak in as much as I can without burning out and falling asleep.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a long weekend for sure. I know you said that you had done a feature before last year. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I came out here with my team last year. It was my first experience at Treefort, and I was able to do a guest set with an artist on our team. And yeah, it was a dope experience because it was way low pressure, right? It wasn't like, oh, I'm coming into my first Treefort and I'm playing 2 sets and I don't know anything that's going on. It gave me a chance to hit the stage for a little bit and have that kind of pressure and also experience, but then also just get to see what it's like.
Yeah, no. So you saw the Treefort community. You saw that it's all love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So feeling good for the shows this weekend.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, you're from Seattle, actual Seattle. And with being from actual Seattle comes a lot of rich music history. It literally X, Y, and Z genres. Do you feel like you pull from any of that, inspiration-wise and stuff?
Yeah, I think what's dope about the Pacific Northwest in general, but also Seattle, is there's so many different sounds, right? And it's not like a place like the Bay Area where you can be like, oh, this is their sound. But what I think connects artists across all genres is the storytelling aspect of it. You listen to artists from Seattle, and it's all storytelling.
Yeah.
It's all just people sharing their experiences, and I think it's dope that we have so much history, in grunge and rock, but then also EDM, and it just opens up so many doors for people to express themselves differently and don't feel like they're put in a box. And I think just the one thing that we're missing now is just the infrastructure.
Totally.
And artists are taking themselves more seriously, and we're getting eyes on ourselves, and
So how's it been for you, starting out and working in the Seattle music scene? Do you feel like it's been it's a good underground community? Or what's your experience with it?
I think in hip hop it's interesting. My initial experience with it was that it was really cliquey, and it was hard to be an artist that didn't necessarily have a network.
Yeah.
To try and get into circles or get into certain rooms. But I had my track Loose Change back in 2021 that was picked up by SoundCloud and Pharrell Williams' team. And I think that gave me a little bit of respect. So I was like, okay, I can be in the conversation now.
That's pretty sick.
I have something to offer people. Please just look my way. But it's the community is building still, and we're convincing the people outside of the music community to invest into it, which I think is going to change everything.
Sweet. I love that. So I've also noticed you kind of try and stray away from explicit content in your music. Why is that?
So I actually I didn't grow up listening to hip hop. I grew up listening to contemporary Christian music and smooth jazz. And so my first experience with hip hop was Christian rap. And so all of the influences that I was pulling from and all of the people that I was looking up to were just being authentic. And so I didn't cuss at all. And so my writing didn't reflect that. And so naturally, as much as I want my music to be accessible to everybody. I want it to be digestible. You don't hear people be like, oh, he doesn't swear, so I'm not going to listen to it.
No,
But
exactly.
you do hear people that are like, oh, there's a lot of explicit content. I'm not going to listen
Mm-hmm.
to that. And I don't want my messages to get buried in
Totally.
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also it's just natural. It's like, that's what I grew up. You can't knock me for like doing that because I grew
No,
up.
see, I totally get that.
Yeah. So.
So talk to me about your most recent single, Affirmative Action.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Affirmative Action is a 2-pack with Dance Party and Black Kids. And the whole kind of premise around it was acting twice as good for half the respect and going through, getting half the reward for twice the struggle. And it's kind of like that double entendre, right? Because we got Affirmative Action, which is like, a program that's supposed to, support POC people and make the education system more equitable, but there are obvious glaring issues in that, and it doesn't necessarily always work out for the best. But then also affirmative action, action is going to come, it's mandatory, and and so both the songs, Black Kids talks about the loss of innocence and parents having to have those hard conversations with children when they're young, and they're having that identity crisis of why can't I do this when my friends are able? They don't have limitations.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dance Party is a metaphor of interaction with police and just everything that comes with that and everything that goes through my mind, because I've had experiences with the police that have not gone how they're supposed to, and so just that shared experience and telling a little bit about that story.
Was that what was the process? What did it look like production-wise for that?
Yeah, so I actually made Black Kids 2 years ago in a treehouse studio that I built myself at the beginning of quarantine. Yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah, because all the studios were closed, and I was like, well, I can't just not record. So
I love that.
Yeah, I built this whole studio in a treehouse, and so I recorded that 2 years ago, and then Dance Party I recorded last year, and most of my songs come from me just sitting by myself, and I taught myself how to engineer and mix a little bit, and so it gave me the freedom to just tell my story without fear of judgment. Yeah, I can cut out certain parts that I'm like, okay, no one needs to know that part, but and so so a lot of the production on that just came together with just me in my room.
Nice. That's super cool.
Yeah,
I like that. Do you have any favorite or notable fan/tour show experiences that you've had?
So at every show I do this thing. I have this book.
Okay.
It's like a yearbook, and I take Polaroids of people after every show, and I put it in there, and then I have them sign it like it's the last day of school, and I do that at every show. And at my most recent show, there was somebody there who had been at all of the shows that I did, and they had signed on all of them. I had pictures with them.
That's awesome.
Everyone. And the first show I did was out in Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
So it's like they had just been
That's
at all
so
of them.
crazy.
They followed me through the journey, and so that has been just seeing how people connect to it and want to invest into it.
No, totally.
Is a crazy experience, and sometimes hard to fathom because I'm like, bro, I'm just a regular person.
Just trying to do what I love.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you said that was an after the show thing. Do you have any pre-show rituals?
I drink a lot of throat coat tea, so much, an absurd amount.
I feel like that's the second time I've heard this today.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Yeah,
because I always feel when I get psyched up for a show, I'm always like, wow, my throat hurts so bad. I'm gonna lose my voice when I'm on the stage. And so doing that and taking time to just sit with myself and kind of meditate. Mm-hmm. I clear out the green room or take a walk and just sit with myself, because it's a lot of vulnerability to be up on that stage, especially with the music that I'm making. It's I'm just telling these strangers my story and hoping that they don't boo me.
That's
So, just meditating and a lot of self-reflection and a lot of tea.
Sweet. So moving forward, what's it looking like for you in the next couple of months? Do you have new releases that you're working on? More shows coming up?
Yeah.
What's the like next 6 months to a year look like for
Yeah, so I got a couple more singles that are all building towards a project at the end of the end of May, beginning of June time, and so just continuing to showcase myself. I think that's what a lot of this year was. I took, the last year and a half just staying, behind the scenes and focusing on my mental health and making sure that I'm prepared for all the moments that I get. And so now it's just execution time. I have all these songs built up, and we got a release plan and all of that. So it's just building to that moment. And I got some festivals. I'm playing Fisherman's up in Everett, and then I'll have my headline show in the summertime. And just seeing where it takes us. You can't have expectations for something you haven't done, right?
No, totally.
And so just seeing where it takes us, continuing to take the opportunities as they come, and continue to share my story.
That's super
show
rad.
people who I am.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see where you are in that time. What the singles are like. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rad.
Yeah, and some videos too, some music videos.
Oh, sweet, nice.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited.
do you have any last little plugs that you would like to do for anything?
Affirmative Action came out today, so you should listen to it because I like it, and I'll cry if you don't. But yeah, continue, to build a community, protect the youth, and be authentic. Because that's all we could ever ask for. Yeah, I'm Oblé Reed. My socials, Oblé Reed, streaming, Oblé Reed. Just look it up. And don't forget the accent either.
Yes. We'll make sure we get it linked with everything, and we'll put the accents in there too.
Beautiful.
But thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
It's been a blast talking to you.
Right.
So.
Thank you.
If you look for chains like me, let me see them hands. Where my chain sneakers at? Where my chain sneakers at? Now move with me, listen.